So I just wrapped up another awesome interview with one of our customers inside the Quantum Leap Ecom Agency program. His name is Sean Raymond, and he is absolutely crushing it. He's 17 years old, and he went from $0 to $12,000 per month with his agency inside of 10 months. I mean, you don't get much better than that. And in this interview, he goes through how he was able to scale so quickly and how he was able to do it at such a young age. And it's really a testament to the idea that age does not matter, right? As you've seen in the last student interview that I did, Rod Bland is 50 years old and he scaled his agency to 25,000 per month, and he joined the Quantum Leap Ecom Agency program in November of last year. So he did that in a very, very short time frame, less than 12 months. And as you'll see here over the next 30-ish minutes, Sean was able to scale his agency from $0 to $12,000 per month, right? At 17 years old in less than 12 months. And Rod, as I say, in the last interview, was 50 years old. So age doesn't matter, right? And in this interview, you'll see really what truly matters in order to scale your agency from 0 to 10,000 plus per month in the shortest time frame possible. If you're interested in joining the Quantum Leap Ecom Agency program, you're a beginner, maybe you got 1 or 2 clients and you're wanting to get to 10,000 per month, click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to a book call page with my head of student success, Daniel, who'll walk you through the program and see if you're a good fit for the Quantum Leap Ecom Agency program. And if you're a slightly more advanced agency owner, maybe you're at 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30, 40, 50,000 a month, and you're wanting to scale to that 100,000 plus per month mark, then click the Centurion agency link in the description. It'll take you to a different book call page and you'll be able to schedule in a call with Brandon where he'll walk you through the Centurion agency program and he'll show you exactly how you'll be able to scale to 100,000 per month with your agency inside of the next 12 months. And we actually guarantee results with Centurion agency as well. But with that being said, I will see you inside of this interview. So welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are joined with Sean Raymond. He is 17-year-old agency owner, absolutely crushing it. Yeah, Sean, deeply appreciate you coming on, dude.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
For sure, dude. So we was just chatting there a little bit, and you said that currently you're still at school. You're doing all of these, like you say, like varsity sports and whatnot. Dude, I'm super curious to get a bit of insight into like your current situation, but also how you got started at such a young age. And where you're at with the agency at the moment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So March 2020, I was like watching this YouTube video by Jubilee. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they was like, do all millionaires think the same? They were interviewing 6 of them and 3 of them all did e-commerce and they were under 25. So of course I'm like, what is e-commerce? Like I got to know about this because I want to be a millionaire under 25, right? So go on Google, give it a quick search. I started with drop shipping, didn't really work that well. You know, the agency model is much better, especially if you're starting out. And so, you know, I started with that in like October, I think. I settled into e-commerce and it's been really good. Then I joined the program with you and learned a lot of good stuff that helped me when I was first starting out to get to where I'm at. And it's been crazy since then. I've seen a lot of growth. But I've just been, you know, in terms of managing the time between school and stuff like that, I have been doing it during school a little bit because of the COVID situation. I could just stay at home and do it. When I was in class, I was like on Messenger talking to people and stuff. But I mean, everyone gets the same 24 hours in the day. And, you know, if I can do it, someone else can do it. You know, you just got to find the time. If someone wants to do something, they'll find the time to do it. And it's just about like committing to it, really. Yeah.
Sure, dude. So you said you started in October of 2020. So you've not been doing it a year yet.
Yeah, so I've started in e-commerce then. I think maybe like June or maybe April, May, June, around that time, 2020, I started like local businesses. I tried to do like nursing homes. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, but you know, I gave it a shot and it didn't really work out. And I figured since I tried drop shipping, I had all this e-commerce knowledge. So, you know, they say it's like a hard niche to get into. But I had already done kind of the work setting up Shopify and I kind of understood the concepts behind it. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to make the call here and go for it and never look back since then. So.
For sure, dude. So you're at what are you at the moment with the agency?
Right now we're doing like 10 to 12K a month. So.
Okay. And how many clients is that?
So right now we have 4 clients coming in around there. Some of them are a little bit lower on the end. So maybe like 2 to 3. Most of them sit around there. One of them is like 1 to 2, just because I've been with them since like February when I started getting like bigger ticket clients. And then, the largest one I had was like 7K after performance fees. So
Nice.
I've got clients, retained most of them because of the Facebook ads strategy that I use and stuff, which started from your course and everything. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. 4 clients, doing 10 to 12.
So you're only doing Facebook ads?
So I've started just doing Facebook ads because that's kind of the easiest to get into. But since then, I kind of realized like the client needs other things. And if they have those other things in place, like email and like text message marketing and your website design, and especially creatives for the ads, it's very, very powerful and it helps the ads perform better, believe it or not. So I've definitely started doing e-commerce consulting and Facebook ads. So, I have media buyers actually now. I've trained them in my system kind of. They do the Facebook ads and I handle the consulting side on the e-commerce, help out with whatever the client really needs help with.
Yeah. So you're becoming a more integral part to their business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then on more of a, not a selfish side, because I'm providing the value, but it's harder for the client to let go because if the ads don't perform great one month, which doesn't happen that often, but of course it does. So sometimes if they don't perform great, well, okay, that's a bad month, but we can turn it into a learning month. And it's hard for them to let go of my agency, because of the value we provide on other ends of the business. They can say, hey, I had this idea and this idea. What do you think? And I'll say, oh, this and that. And it's hard for them to kind of just be able to just get rid of that because of 1 month of bad ads or something like that. So
they're not just letting go of a Facebook agency. They're letting go of like a growth consultant for their entire business.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But dude, that's some crazy growth. Like starting in October, like pretty much zero, I suppose, when you transition from the nursing home niche to e-com, and now you're at 10 to 12K per month, and it's not even been a year.
Yeah, I didn't even get any clients in those other niches. I was at complete zero. The first client I got, I worked for free. People message me all the time. Hey, I'm going to get a media buyer and leverage their case studies and the results to get clients. Okay, like I can understand that, but the long term, you're going to want to be able to understand your service because you can understand the value of it on sales calls. You can talk to prospects and be confident in your answers and everything. Plus, eventually your media buyer may screw something up at some point, or if the ads go bad, you want to be able to diagnose and see what happened, right? Exactly. So, I worked for free because that was the way that I could get, I was just like, oh, we'll just do this now. And then down the road, if it starts doing better, then we can talk about getting paid. That was my first client. I worked for free. I still talk with the guy all the time. We kind of became buddies. It's pretty cool. But so I worked for free. Then I worked for like $300 and then like 1,000. And then so it's just consistently got a little bit bigger. But that first like 4-figure client, like the higher ticket, plus their performance fees was like 6K. It was like insane. Because that really well. So just a testament to service delivery. Like, I
was going to say.
Yeah.
If you can, I was going to say, what would you attest your growth to? Would you say it's pretty much just results that you're able to get? And then once you've got the results, you've just got that proof of concept. You just go, look, we get results, pay us kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a basic way to put it. But yeah, I mean, people underestimate the value of having a good service. They're like, if you have average ads, you're on track for an average agency. Does that make any sense? Like, I mean, there are people who you can get media buyers who are much better than you. Perfect. Then it's different. But, my biggest thing that helped me was like committing to it and really like changing my beliefs about money and stuff like that, which happened all in October. I read this book, Think and Grow Rich, right here. So you can see all of my tabs in there about
I love that.
But like that was this big book right here, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Helped me out a ton. I really learned a lot about like mindset stuff and thinking as a business owner. And then it came into like delivering the services. And that was huge because once I had those first case studies and I understood how to do it myself, it was huge because, you can get a client, but if you lose them 3 months later, it doesn't really help you that much. Whereas if you get a client, keep them for 8 months, and in that 8-month span, you can continue to get more, keep them for a long time. Then it just compounds. And then like you said, I'm at 10K now. It hasn't even been a year yet, just because a lot of people seem to get clients and then lose them. Whereas like getting clients, keeping them was huge for me in my agency. So
retention is definitely the most important thing. There's no point, yeah, like you say, signing a client and then losing, like signing two clients and then losing one, and then the next month losing another just because you can't deliver. It's like you're just spinning your wheels. You're
Yeah,
not really getting anywhere. I'm
exactly.
curious, how did you go about signing? Well, I suppose that first client, because a lot of people who watched this channel, probably are more beginners, don't have any
Yeah.
clients just yet. So with your first client, do you think the reason you was able to sign them was because it was for free? Or did you go about like, positioning yourself in a different way? Or how did you go about getting that first client?
The first client wasn't really like because I had results or because I was working for free. It was more like I built a relationship with this particular individual. And I'm like, listen, man, you're starting out. Like he was just starting out. He didn't have a bunch of sales already. My
Right.
first real client yeah, I didn't have to show any case studies. Really, I couldn't because I didn't have any. That was a completely separate thing. But I had my first client, my first client, like the free one, and then my first was like 4-figure one.
Yeah.
So the free one, it was just building a relationship in Messenger. I was just in like Facebook groups looking, just like casually in there. And I'm like, dude, this guy could use some help. So I messaged him. We talked a little bit. I'm like, you know what, I do Facebook ads. I can probably help you out. He's looking for it. So we kind of built a partnership that way. My first real client actually came from a video on your YouTube channel, believe it or not. The email
Oh,
outreach.
wow.
Yeah, the email outreach one. I even have like the thing on my wall still. Like the sequences, like I wrote them and put them on my wall, and I just went crazy. So the whole month of January, every day I did like 40 emails. It's the one where you talked about like the personalized line, and then like my name is Sean. I do Facebook marketing. I like to
Mm.
send you a free video out of your business with some actionable steps you can implement. Like I still have it memorized in my head because how many times I wrote it, but copied and pasted it. But I just did that and sent people, and they responded. I just like went on Instagram, looked up streetwear, and just found people like with 6K or more followers, and like find them, went to their website, found the emails. Like it was a ton of upfront work, upfront manual labor. And I got the call booked of the guy that closed on the 28th of the month. So it's like I did
Okay.
28 days of just straight working, 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 working. I did some looms,
Yeah.
I did some stuff, but the one guy that actually closed, the 28th, was the day that it got booked. So it's like that's kind of how it is in
Damn.
business. I think it's a great story because it really shows how it is, especially if you're starting out. Because
Yeah.
for me, it was a long time of nothing, 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 and like $300, and then it just one day just boom. Like after that January month,
Yeah.
it just skyrocketed. That's an example of like just staying committed and like
Yeah.
persevering through it. So to all the people out there that are starting out, that are still like at zero and they want to start an agency, you want to do it. Number one, I would say just stick with it because you never know when that day or that week or that month could come where it just like blows up and just goes sky high. And it's like all of a sudden you're at that next level, and
Yeah.
everything like is so worth it. So absolutely worth it. And the second is get in the Kai's program because it helped me a ton. Just being honest with you, get into the program, make the investment in yourself and in your business, because even if like the modules are very helpful, they're very valuable. But one thing I found is the connections in the Facebook group is also very big. So,
Mm.
just getting into the program, definitely worth it. I did, and I didn't get my first big client until I did get into the program. So definitely a
Yeah, dude,
testament.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I'm curious just to kind of go back to those. Well, the first, I suppose you learn most of your service delivery because you're big on service delivery. And I completely agree. I think it is the most important thing because you can sign all the clients in the world, but they can all leave next month if you can't deliver.
Yeah.
So did you do most of your learning with that free client? And then once you had the first paying client, it was
Mhm.
like you knew what to do and you could just deliver?
Sure. So I learned from everywhere. So I just like I would just like I'm the kind of person who's like if I want to learn something, I'm just gonna go do it. I have all
You
the
go deep.
resources. It's
Yeah.
like I don't ask questions, I answer them. Like it's kind of cliche, like I don't ask questions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for
Is
sure.
like I just went out on YouTube and I looked up like drop shipping Facebook ads, and then I looked up SMMA Facebook ads, and I watched
Yeah.
like hour and a half long videos all the way through. Then I would find the next one, watch it all, and I would take notes. I have like 3 notebooks of notes just in Facebook ads. Once
Yeah.
I like did all of that and I learned like, okay, I kind of understand it, because at that point, just by doing all of that, you learn ad copy, you learn creatives, you learn how to set up the optimization, you learn everything. at some
Yeah.
point. And then, you know, I just went in and with the free client started, learned a little bit of how to do it, practical application, everything always changes. So, you
Yeah.
know, not everything, but I learned some stuff there. Next client for like $300, learned some stuff there, got into the program. And what was crucial was watching the modules on Facebook ads delivery. That's where I started to take everything that like the knowledge and just organize it into an effective like tool that I could use.
Yeah.
So
Like a repeatable process.
Exactly. Like I built out this kind of workflow sheet where I'm like, okay, this is kind of the system, the basics of the system. And then I started to implement that. And then obviously as I went on and on, I learned more and more about how to do it. But yeah, that's definitely how I started, is just learn from everybody and anybody that's qualified. And the biggest thing was only learn from the people who are exactly where you want to be. Like I learned from you, I learned from E-Man, like, you know, all these guys in the space. Like I learned from you guys because you all ran agencies that were at like 30 to 50K a month and well beyond that. And that's where I wanted to be. So I learned exactly from you guys, and that paid off because now I'm on the trajectory to get there. Just from learning from the people. You know, I didn't learn from some real estate agent because I wasn't doing real estate. I was doing e-commerce. So yeah, that's a big thing.
For sure. Dude, I love that so much because I did the same thing when I was starting out. I just put in the time. I think a lot of I see it a lot with beginners. They try and jump to like, you know, they're on rung 1 right now. They try and jump to like rung 10 to try and like automate the entire agency. They try and like remove themselves from an agency that doesn't even exist yet. And it's just like, you know what I mean? You just got to go deep. And I literally did the same thing. I used to just consume everything I could get my hands on, take all the notes, had like 9 pages of notes from like one video, you know. And then from there, you, as you say, you were able to take that theory and apply it to real life situations, and then learn and iterate based on that real life situation.
It's definitely huge, that time investment. Like if you don't have the money to invest, like invest your time and like
because you got nothing else.
Exactly.
It's like all you've got is time, you know.
Especially with COVID, some people are still in lockdown. Like even now, it's the perfect time. Like it's starting to come to an end. Like it's starting to progress that way, but there's still an opportunity to do it. So like put that time in now and just commit to it and like really start to learn and delve deep, because down the road it's going to pay off big time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious, with obviously given that you're 17, which is crazy to think. I think everybody watching this thinks you're like 25, because I thought that when I first seen you. Like I said to you before, I thought I looked old for my age. I think you,
how old are you?
It's crazy. I'm 20 now, just turned.
20.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. I was gonna think 24, 25 maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But did you ever get like not objections, but like a bit of pushback on your age? Did you ever get clients, you know, asking you like, oh, how old are you? And then there's a bit of like, oh, I don't really know now. Because I think, again, a lot of people who are just beginning kind of put that, maybe they don't put that false belief on themselves. Maybe it is a genuine issue that they face. But I think they let that hold them back because they do feel young and they're like, why would somebody pay me and whatnot? Did you have that?
One time last week, because
oh wow,
literally once. I've never had an issue with it until then. The guys like, and the reason it was is because there's a set of business partners that they were working with, and the ad budget for this prospect was like 30K or whatever. And they're the one business partner is like 28 or 27, or so he's kind of young, and then the other guy's like 50. And the business partner who's like young was talking to Messenger. He's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Like, I think we're ready to do this. We went on the call with him. I was following up. It was going well. And he's like, hey, my business partner had a question. We're guessing you're like 21 or 22. You know, he had a question about being a young guy. So like even being 22 in this space, it's just because it was like a one-off thing where this guy was really old and like didn't really understand e-commerce that well, because they're looking to expand to like the internet side of things. So he didn't really understand e-commerce. So that was kind of the issue there. But like that is a one-off thing, one time. Like I've never had an issue with it. And like I started when I was 16, never had an issue with it there. So
and why do you think that is? Do you think that's just because of the way you present yourself? Do you think it's because you got all of these results and people just don't care how old you are? Like, why do you think you've not had that issue?
Sure. Well, one thing is people like money, and if you can make them money, they don't really care like what you do or how you do, you know. So that's one thing, is like they just want the result. You'll find that at the higher ticket, for people that like haven't worked with higher ticket clients. When you get to that point, it's less about like the emotional side and like, I'm investing a lot of money in you, I need you to perform. It's more like, okay, money sent, like let's see this result. And then
Yeah.
They just want the result. You have to provide some information about what you're doing, how you're testing, like what you're looking at, some stuff like that. But they just want the result. So that's one thing, is like people are result oriented. They don't really care that much about the way you get there, especially in the e-commerce space. If I was doing like hedge fund investing or something, it probably wouldn't work being 17, but with e-commerce and with SMMA, absolutely can do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. So with the kind of the growth and whatnot at this point where you're at right now, 10, 12K a month, where are you sat with kind of like the agency structure? Is it still just yourself? Have you got somebody on board now, like a team?
Sure.
If you do have a team, how did you find them? How did you train them? And at what point did you bring them on board as well?
Yeah, sure thing. So I have one media buyer. I have a second available for the Latin America market, actually, because I was talking with some prospects there. So I want to be prepared for that. So he's like based in Brazil, I believe. So it's pretty cool. But I haven't put him into practice yet. And then I have like, there's a creative person that I work with that does photography and stuff like that. And then there's a great app for people who don't have a lot of money to invest in like a real photographer. It's called Billo, Billo. And you can have access to their influencer community, and you can get videos from them. You can request videos for like $100. Yeah. And you can get custom made videos. You just got to ship the product to them. So, my team right now, my structure is I'm kind of doing e-commerce consulting, and then obviously like the finances and stuff with the agency, but it's me. There's one media buyer. We have a creative person. And then I'm also doing like some Facebook ads coaching as well. So I have a team for that works with like a Facebook group that I'm starting, and I have a VA that helps like do cold outreach for that. But I mean, for the agency, it's just a media buyer, me, and then a creative person when we need it. So
nice. Good stuff, man. I like it. So I'm curious, you've done, you've done the thing that everybody starts out wanting to do. Get to 10K a month,
10K,
right? Get to 10K a month, 10K a month. Like, I don't want anything else from my agency. I just want to hit 10K. Like, that's everybody's dream. And you've done it. Just to kind of wrap up here, what do you feel as though is like the biggest focuses, or where people's like 100% of their focus should go in order to go from zero, no clients, no experience, no current results, just literally nothing, and get to 10K a month in, say, a 12-month time frame like you've done?
Set a goal and do it. That's it. Take action.
Set a goal
every day, commit to it. Like, I mean, obviously you set your goal of 10K, because when I was starting out, I'm like, oh, I just want to make a lot of money. That's not good enough. You need a number. You need a solid number you can aim for. But for me, my first goal was 10K. I wrote it down on a note card and read it like 5 times a day, including when I woke up and when I went to like, I'll make $10,000 a month as a social media marketer by, doing outreach, by connecting with other agency owners, by whatever it was. I wrote that down, and then I'm like, I will do this, period. And it was a decision I made. Like in October 2020, I made the decision that to October 2021, I would be making 10K a month. And I never since October, in the whatever 9 or 10 months, never once said, maybe I won't do it. Never.
Yeah.
You make the decision and you believe it and you stick to it and you make it happen, because if you falter, if you doubt yourself, that's when things start to go bad. Like, action breeds confidence. So take that action all the time, continue to do it, because like I said, you never know when that breaking point is where it all just like starts to fall into place and it starts to blow up. Not blow up in a bad way, blow up in a good way. And and so just take action like consistently and just commit to it. Just do what you got to do to make it happen. Like, don't stay up until 2 a.m. every day and wake up at 6, because that's a bad habit. Like, not sleeping, I'm not talking, do it just every single day, commit to it, and eventually just take action. If you don't have any idea where to start on Kai's channel or looking at videos, consuming content and learning, then start to implement these things. Don't spend too much time learning. You like give yourself a week max to learn the strategies, and then just start doing it, constantly improve, constantly learn as you go through. And that's pretty much it. Just take action. And that's pretty much how you do it. It's not that hard, believe it or not. 10K seems like a very big number, very intimidating number. Once you get there, it really doesn't seem that hard. It's just about, learning and constantly taking action and constantly improving upon yourself. And that's pretty much it, man. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. I think a lot of beginner agency owners and younger agency owners as well would be able to pull a lot from this video and also get inspired, you know, because
Absolutely.
you're literally living proof that
Yeah,
it's possible at any age.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I remember watching these videos, like that's gonna be me someday. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in the student interview and I'm gonna be making 10K a month. Like that was motivation for me. So when I saw you post
Yeah.
like the application for that, I was like, yes. Like I
Yeah.
was so excited because I'm so excited because like this is one goal that I had, like watching. I literally remember sitting watching my TV 'cause for some reason I watch YouTube on my TV.
Mhm.
And I'm watching it and I'm just like I just paused it and I said it out loud. My mom looked at me like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I'm going to do that." Like mom, like I'm going to get on that thing, and she's like, "Okay, like cool."
Yeah.
And then
That's
like
awesome,
I
dude.
remember telling myself like I'm going to do this. So it's pretty awesome that I can actually get there. And like I said, just taking action and learning is huge. So
Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on.